back to the Uplink, the only place on the internet where you can find out about all the latest gaming news from across the industry. I'm your host, Andrew Hamilton, joined here, as always, by my co-host,
Mario.
Wahoo! That's what he says.
Yeah.
Royden Ogletree.
Yay.
We got a lot of news
Mario
to talk
over
about.
here.
Hey, I'm Marioing.
That's what the new voice is going to say.
We'll get to that. We got a lot to talk about. Gamescom is currently going on in Germany, so that's pretty cool, which, no one invited us, but that's fine, so it's whatever.
Com or con?
Com.
Com.
Did I say con?
No, because I was getting confused the entire time.
It's Gamescom.
Com, but it's a convention.
It is an expo.
Oh.
Technically. Because it has showcases.
Anyway.
Technically.
Com?
Get in the comment section. Who's on the con army? Who's on the com army?
I mean,
you're wrong if you're on the con, but that's fine.
Com. Okay. Anyway.
So we got lots to talk about. We're going to start off with our favorite kind of news. Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, baby.
Oh my God.
It never ends, and it never will. We're in a nightmare of our own making, and we can't escape.
Death can't come soon enough.
It can, though.
It
just won't. So Microsoft, as we discussed in a previous episode, link in the description if you missed that one somehow. I mean, obviously you all watch all of them all the time to their completion by ours.
Tens of you watch it.
I can tell by the amount of times that people drop off 27 minutes in. But that's fine. You're missing out. The best jokes are 28 minutes in.
Right.
So Microsoft previously had been...
by the 45th minute.
That's right. The last 5 minutes is absolutely insane. Just knives and forks flying all over the place. I once threw up coffee. It's crazy. Don't fact check that.
People on tricycles.
It's just Levi on tricycles in the background. 2 tricycles.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
Anyway, whatever.
Microsoft had previously been slapped with a big old nope from the CMA, not the Country Music Awards, but the Consumer MA. Put that. We put that in the bottom. It stands for Consumer MA Association.
It's Consumer M Association. Whatever. I'm only laughing at you because I don't know it either. That's like...
Correct me if you dare.
It's the British people's problem.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing.
Why don't you try having like a FDA or like a FTC? Like, we all know that.
Yeah, Federal Tea Commission.
For all the tea we threw in the harbor.
Right.
The UK had previously blocked the purchase of Activision Blizzard King, which is the full name of the Activision Blizzard, on the grounds that it would not constrain market on console side, but on cloud gaming side, of which Microsoft holds the majority market value in. Microsoft said, nuh-uh, and then went back to the drawing board. After getting approval damn near everywhere else, they have come up with a new plan, and it's a plot twist of a kind of thing. It's a real M. Night Shyamalan kind of thing happening. So here's the workaround. So the idea is that Microsoft controls too much of the major game companies out there, and too much of it is being put to cloud gaming without being offered in other ways. So basically, Microsoft isn't currently offering any of the stuff that it owns in very many other places, and Game Pass is kind of the de facto top dog in the cloud streaming scene right now. So this would allow Microsoft to sell cloud streaming rights to Ubisoft, who then could put it on Ubisoft Plus and also work out licensing agreements with other cloud streaming companies, at which point Microsoft makes a smaller percentage profit and Ubisoft is now the controlling dealer further. So
they're the go-between.
Yeah, they basically just put a middleman.
They're not the supplier. They're not the head honcho.
It's a real weird one because here's the thing. They could, if Ubisoft became the de facto place for Call of Duty, right? And Ubisoft Plus starts adding Call of Duty titles on there, and then you can, with PlayStation Plus, get Ubisoft Plus, because currently that's included with PlayStation Plus Extra. Then you get those Call of Duty titles on their streaming service. But that doesn't stop Microsoft from just also making a deal where they get to put Ubisoft Plus on Game Pass like they did with EA Play, and still end up with those games on there all the time, day one. And they could even write into the this is where it gets kind of weird. They could technically write into the contract that they get day one exclusivity and then day two is everyone else. So they work into an early access type thing if you're playing on Xbox. But we don't know if any of that's going to happen. And I don't know if the CMA is going to go for this. They're a bunch of country people playing guitars and banjos, but they might not know what's going on. But
Dirk Bentley, what do you think? Jason Aldean said, "Try that in a small town."
Try monopolizing cloud gaming in a small town. Find out you can't do it.
Cannot do it. They
don't have internet there.
Fair.
Yeah. So I mean, we have no idea where this is going, really, but. It is a weird twist to this.
It's a weird workaround because, like, why? I know why Ubisoft did it. It's like, fine. What is it?
Ubisoft's like, hell yeah.
Quite literally no loss to us.
You can look at stock for Ubisoft today and see the exact moment it was announced that Microsoft decided to entangle them in their $69 billion purchase because Ubisoft's on the downward, stock was on the downward trend, and it shot up 670 points.
Well, it's also interesting too because it's like so PlayStation has to pay Ubisoft to have you, or does Ubisoft pay PlayStation?
We don't know. And that's kind of where the cloud gaming stuff gets weird because, look, we don't really understand how this thing works. I don't think they really do.
Is it like Netflix paying other studios to host their content?
So here's the thing. PlayStation already pays Microsoft money for PlayStation Plus because PlayStation Plus streaming service is based on the Microsoft Azure cloud streaming service.
Okay.
On top of that, I don't know if Ubisoft Plus is a pre-worked out deal or if it was just mutually beneficial to Ubisoft to put that on PlayStation Plus to increase subscriber counts artificially for shareholders. I don't know how these things work, just like we don't know if games that come to the platform are getting like, oh, hey, you're getting increased visibility by being on here, and that's going to lead to higher game sales. So if you decide to do a month on PlayStation Plus Extra, that's going to lead to higher game sales via word of mouth and increased, accessibility as it spreads more streamers will pick it up, that kind of stuff. Or if it's like, hey, put your game on our service and I'll give you $30,000 for a week for a month or whatever,
Well, I'll tell you what I'm not going to do, and I don't think a lot of PlayStation players will do it either. If you have to pay for Ubisoft Plus on top
of for Ubisoft
exactly
Plus.
On top of the PlayStation Extra, nope.
Look, Ubisoft.
No, I'm not paying for a streaming service to pay for another streaming service. No, thank you.
When I was 16, Ubisoft was like the coolest to me. I thought Assassin's Creed was cool. I thought Watch Dogs was cool later. I thought they Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon, those like doing good stuff. You're not that cool anymore. And I'm not going to pay extra for Peacock.
You oversaturated the market. You oversaturated yourself. Completely honest, but
Ubisoft Plus is MGM Plus to me. I will
Why
never
not just put it on Amazon?
Yeah, just put it on Amazon.
You own the thing.
Why did you buy it if you were just going to make it a separate thing?
They have to be losing money on that.
They have to be.
Anyway, I imagine Ubisoft is somehow losing money on this until this deal, if this deal goes through, which may not.
Yeah, we'll see. Well,
it seems set to like kind of screw them on, not screw them, but like kind of just put it to them on this.
Yeah. Oh, and this could satisfy the whole problem they have, but I think that it may not be enough of a workaround for them to care. I think it's going to ultimately be a bigger problem in the long run. Yeah. But we got to move on to the next thing because it's a little sad and also a little happy because the voice of Wahoo, Mario Man, here I am, look at me, it's me, Mario, is retiring. Charles Martinet, after 32 years of being the Red Plumber, not to be confused with Green Plumber, Coward Boy, is retiring. He is stepping back from the role officially. In a comment from Nintendo, they said that he will be taking on a new role. He is going to be the Mario ambassador to the world.
How old is this cat?
Oof, that's rough. I mean, if you look at him, he looks pretty old.
He's probably pretty old. Like,
He looked pretty old when they started, though, I gotta say. I thought he was like in his 80s, so maybe he's 70, 80.
yeah, I mean, we don't know. I mean, he's not going to be like 50 if he's been doing it for like 32 years. But like, the most iconic voice in all of video game history, obviously.
And not just Mario. He's the voice of Mario, Waluigi, and Wario.
Yeah.
And a few others. Fun fact, if you didn't know this, and this is kind of poetic, the last thing that Charles Martinet will have voiced, maybe not the technical last thing, but the last thing that we know right now that he voiced is he played Mario's dad in the Mario movie.
Oh.
So he's literally the father of Mario.
Yeah, people were really up in arms when he wasn't actually Mario, because then they came out and
Chris Pratt did fine.
Chris Pratt did fine, but he literally came out and did a "Hey, it's me, Mario" thing.
I almost wish it was.
You can't do the normal Mario voice for the movie. It just that delivering lines, like full lines of dialogue. And
what do you mean you are leaving me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that would be. Sorry, that was Mario getting
quite
divorced
literally
from Peach.
like I'm having an existential crisis, and everybody's like, "No, thank you,
Luigi, you gotta come over here. I'm losing so much money. The IRS is coming." Yoshi committed tax fraud again.
You couldn't do that. And in fact, it would be very bad and weird.
You should not do that. And we shouldn't have done that.
But that doesn't discount that as the voice of the game and hundreds and hundreds of properties.
Yeah.
It's the most well-known thing in probably video game history.
When you think of video game voice, like when people hear, oh, it's a video game character, their first thought is probably Mario.
Right.
And that voice, that wahoo, the yippies, and the what have yous.
I mean, if it's not like the one-up sound or like the coin dinging sound, it's
as iconic as the music is.
Yeah, when they started putting, like, when did they start doing that, though? Like 64?
I want to say that...
32 years, so like...
Yeah.
Super Mario 64?
64, maybe...
But that came out in like 96, so it would have been like a game before that.
I want to say it was probably the Super Mario World games that had... Not Super Mario World. It would have had to have been something that had
Mario
actual...
Luigi 2 or whatever?
Maybe. I'll have to look it up and I'll
yeah, so 32 years ago, I mean, like, we're 30, but like, it's not... so it wouldn't have been 60, because that was... We're doing math here. That was like 28 years ago, so he would have been doing it before that one. But the first thing that I remember was Super Mario 64, when it was like Mario was like alive sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. The way that it was funny because they found out, like fans found out through like a trailer, and they were like, "This isn't the guy." The latest Mario game to come out.
Oh, yeah.
The trailer for
Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah, Wonder.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he voiced. They were like...
That's what I was saying. The last thing I think that he did voice.
They were like, this isn't the guy. Because they hadn't announced it yet.
Yeah.
And so they were like, this isn't him. And yeah, and that's how people found out. But that just... And it doesn't sound any different to me, because I'm a...
It's just barely noticeably
Yeah, so people that have been playing it forever are like, not the same. Yeah. We're like, what?
Yeah, Mario fans can hear... the slightest tone shift. They can tell if Mario had a cold the day before. Like it's that intense. But I mean, look, the man's been doing this for a long time. He's not really leaving. It's not like he's retiring permanently, you know? He's more taking on a different role. He'll be going around and cutting ribbons at Mario Lands and doing...
Hey, it's a great gig if you can get it.
I mean, I assume he's just going to wear a fake mustache for the rest of his life and go wahoo at, like, you know, intersections.
Sign posters at conventions. Great gig.
Yeah. Hey, come to Bell County Comic.
Congratulations on a great career, though, if you're watching this. I know you are.
Yeah, hey, Charles Martinet, #1 subscriber. You're a real one, and we appreciate your time with us. Thank you for your service, sir.
Next one. Guys, just so you know, I'm going to have to like pull the curtain back here and inform you everything's fine. The Xbox 350 store is shutting down, not the Xbox 360. That is an inside joke that you won't get, but it's on our notes that the Xbox 350 store is shutting down.
Son of a gun.
So
you ever make a mistake in your life? You ever made a mistake in your life? I have.
The little known the Xbox 360 store, alive and well.
Oh, no, actually, I see. Yeah, it's a typo. Yeah, no, the 360 store is shutting down, actually. It is shutting down.
You're embarrassing me right now. What are you doing?
You're an embarrassment.
What are we doing?
Honestly,
right
you're an embarrassment.
What are we doing right now?
I'm getting pissed off.
350 store? You're going to tell me that right now? Okay. Anyway.
It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're best friends. Anyway, yeah, so the 360 store is shutting down, which means that if there's any 360 games that are digital only that you would like to get, you should get those right now, because after it shuts down, you won't even be able to re-download games, I think is going to end up being the case.
So this is just direct for the Xbox 360 consoles?
Yes, this is the 360 version
the ones
of the
that are
Xbox
ported,
Marketplace.
Okay, I was going to say the ones that are ported on.
Yeah, so games that are backwards compatible that are on the Xbox Marketplace for Xbox One, Series S and X, those are going to be fine. But the 360 games that were not ported or backwards compatible will not be fine. They will be dying a painful death in the Supercell sun explosion that is turning off a server.
You think it's just like that? Just click, it's just done?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I assume. I mean, there's a reason they probably announce it ahead of time so that it's got, it takes probably more time.
How many holdouts are there though?
Who's been waiting on the big 360
the big
sale?
bang of that.
They're like, I'm waiting for the going out of business sale.
Yeah. I don't really know. Like, I haven't paid for Xbox Live for the I still have a 360 to play some of those older games, but I haven't tried to buy anything from the Xbox 360. So, in fact, I don't think I've tried to access anything from the Xbox 360.
No, and I had kind of already assumed that the 360 store was de facto dead. Like,
I didn't
maybe
even
not
know you
officially.
could really buy Xbox Live for Xbox 360.
But this is gonna have to happen with every storefront eventually. Like the PS3 storefront, I think is probably mostly dead, if not completely, because they just don't integrate them into each other anymore. And just like, even though you can buy PS4 games and PS5 games together on the same, like I think PS4 and PS5 will be fine. Xbox One and Xbox Series S and X will be fine if they can keep the infrastructure the same going forward. But it is so strange to me because we saw this with the Wii U and the Wii. There was a dude who's like buying something from the Wii shop every day until it shuts down, and he did. And he got like the last 2 games like 3 days before it shut down. I was like, that's crazy. But like, it's so strange because it's kind of like we talked about before with video game preservation. What does become of those games?
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
only?
So if you download them, but the store shuts down, obviously the store isn't the server for the game.
No, once they're downloaded, they're wherever you're storing them.
Yeah, and we talked about this in the preservation episode. You just need to have access to those games that are on the next version. Like,
yeah, I think there needs to be a website or something, or a different storefront that old storefronts that die store and archive those games somewhere else.
Steam.
Yeah. So I mean, it's sad. Who cares? Someone will care.
Our childhood is dying, and we're getting older.
If that's not a reminder of your mortality, I don't know what is.
Brush your teeth.
Or don't. It doesn't matter. Nothing in life matters except for video games, which is why our next Starfield.
There are only video games.
Starfield has officially gone gold, which gives you a few more months to care about something enough to keep living.
Explain for not me. You don't have
Obviously,
to explain.
you
don't have to explain for me, but to them, what does that mean?
Yeah. So basically, gone gold means that it's the first ready version of the game. It is the fully playable from beginning to end version of the game. It is now commercially suitable for mass production. Okay. It'll be the version that all the other versions are based off of. Now, here's the thing, and this is a little peek behind the industry curtain. Many, many, many bad, horrifically buggy games have gone gold. Gotham Knights, Skyrim, No Man's Sky. There's an infamous picture of the No Man's Sky team holding up their copy announcing that No Man's Sky went gold. It's a great game now, but guys, it's a rough time, right? To put that picture up and then the launch happened and it didn't seem so golden anymore.
Who determines that? The studio?
The studio. So I think I'm not entirely sure of how the process goes outside of what they're looking for, but basically QA signs off on a version of the game. It's quality assurance for those of you who don't know. Then someone goes and takes that to the like lead or whatever, and they will do an approval on it, and then I'm assuming it gets sent up the chain to someone at a corporate level who then does, okay, yeah, that's fine. Now, here's where I think a lot of that higher up kind of stuff probably misses, and that's I'm doubtful that people at the corporate level always have a chance to play every game that's going gold. So they may, and they're certainly not going to play the game in the way that players will play the game. And this is where I think QA testers get like not enough credit. Guys, I applied to be a QA tester no less than 5 times. And I was a QA tester on one game that I can't talk about really, but the experience was real interesting. You know that bug, you know that thing that you did that broke that game for like half a second? You're not really sure if you can ever replicate it, but for a second there, you slipped under the earth into an abyss and the god lights were shining down on you, but you couldn't be sucked out because for some reason the game wouldn't reboot. So then you had to sit there and reboot your entire console while your friends were having fun still, but you were stuck under the earth. And when you loaded back in, you were still stuck under the earth. QA testers find those things on purpose.
They try to break the game.
So, like, a good example of one that just blows my mind that I'm like, why were you doing that? This was not a QA tester. This was a player. So Division 1, the first raid that came out, which was a multiplayer game. So you're going through with your friends. You had the shield you could put up. Someone is like a super specific thing. Put the shield in the corner on this specific hallway halfway through the raid. Shoot 2 bullets into the bottom. Roll 3 times and then jump over, and it catapults you to the last part of the mission with the boss. Now, I don't care about what that says about the code or whatever is happening on the developer side. What I want to know is, why were you doing any of that? You didn't know that that was going to happen.
Also, how did you replicate it? I would have never remembered what I did.
I would have been like, what happened? I don't know. And then it got like spread around as a glitch. I'm like, but how did you know? Why were you doing? So my point is that Starfield may have gone gold, but as I have been saying this whole time, the track record for Bethesda is very, very rough. And maybe more so made rough by the fact that despite the game coming out in a couple of weeks, we have not had any public hands-on time with it. And I don't mean we as in you and me. I mean like...
There's no beta.
There's been no beta. There's not been really any press hands-on time with it. And they had an opportunity here with Gamescom this week to do a live playable demo on the floor or maybe do a presentation demo, and they opted to not. Which
they just showed combat that we've seen.
Yeah, and it's so that makes me feel like maybe they're not 100% sure of this game's stability. So going gold is great. That just means that they met the bare minimum requirements of what it means to mass produce a game. Whether or not that game will be good is still very up for debate. And based on some players' reactions to the start screen, which is the dumbest discourse I've ever heard.
Stupid.
Why are you like this? Why, gamers, my guys, my girls, my friends, fellas, everyone else? Why are you like this? Why would you care? Why would you care about that? The screen that gets you into the game? Look, I won't lie. A good start screen sets a great tone for a game.
Yeah.
But a bad start screen has rarely made me be like, oh, that was like the worst game ever.
Boo!
Like...
knocking points off for that, you know?
I don't know what people are really looking for. Like, what are you looking for? The start button? It's on there. New game's on there. Just click the button.
Somebody had the wherewithal to say, well, if we know anything about Bethesda, and look, we all have our problems with like Fallout 4 and everything, but like if a start screen for Bethesda means anything, it means we're probably going to have a good game. Because do you remember the start screen for Skyrim?
Yeah, dude.
And for Fallout 3?
Skyrim's is literally just a rotating logo on a black background with silver text with underlines. And the soundtrack for the
Fallout 4 was the mech suit or whatever.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. They didn't add anything. You know what counts? Everything on the other side of that screen.
Somebody said, I'm going to hit new game.
Why do you care? Like, I get video games are art, and you want that art to be important from beginning to end. But guys, a movie that starts on a black screen with white text on it is probably still going to be fine if the contents inside is solid.
Also, the screen doesn't look that bad. It's
No, it looks fine.
Like a picture of a moon.
I've never cared less about a gaming discourse than I care about this. Just chill out, all right? You're gonna play it. Stop acting like you're not. Stop trying to find reasons to hate it before it comes out and you have reasons to hate it, okay?
You're gonna have reasons to hate it.
I promise you, mark my word, if this doesn't happen, I will shave half my mustache off. I'm not willing to go any farther than that. That's the maximum number of hairs on my face I'll shave off. But
just half.
I'll shave half the mustache off if this game comes out mostly bug-free.
Just the
I'm
middle
not even
half.
saying...
just right down the middle.
It's kind of like a weird... Yeah, that'll grow back real strange. Yeah, that. I will do that. I'll do that live on the show if this game comes out mostly bug-free. It's not going to. Actually, scratch that. I'll shave my whole beard if this game comes out mostly bug-free. If you can make it through a playthrough and not encounter at least one game-breaking
What will
bug,
you do if they don't have to do a day one patch?
I know they have to do a day one patch. They can lie to me all they want, but I know it's coming. They'll be like, no, but there is a quick fix patch that we had to put last second. Oh, we found something. They'll find out like the day before that if you hit the start button and then you hit the X button right after that.
You explode that moon that's on the home screen.
Just the moon explodes, but also your save file's corrupted and your hard drive melts.
Yep.
I mean, it's something bad's gonna happen. Maybe they've learned a lesson. I doubt it.
Also, riveting performance by the head of Bethesda in that
Pete
really
Hines.
Weird and awkward interview.
He's such a weird guy, but I love Pete Hines. He's the guy that's always promising shit that he can't deliver. He's like, Fallout 76 will be 4 times the size of Fallout 4, 16 times the detail, and then they like delivered like a paper mache disc that said Fallout 76 crudely written on it in crayon. Like, that's the best. He's the hype man that like he's not even that hype whenever you hear him, but the things he's saying are very like he's like, look, it'll have 100 hours of free content and every gun ever made in the exact way that it was made, every attachment. You'll be able to fly a rocket in real life to this game. That's how good the details are. The
Jeff
moon is real.
Bezos will show up to your door with his rocket and take off in the middle of your
We finally
neighborhood.
did it. We made the moon a real thing.
It was so weird.
He's
It was
a
just
strange
so.
guy.
It just was like, we just wanted to make this game for you, the players. And the host was trying his best, but he was just like, basically the host was basically, I love you, and I love your games. Thank you so much for making these things.
The most awkward thing.
It was
that
so
could happen.
weird. If you haven't watched it, go watch the Starfield announcement or whatever it was.
Yeah, the
interview with him. And it was just like, I love you. And it was just the weirdest thing.
It's the mermaid girl from the SpongeBob movie explaining to SpongeBob and Patrick what they gotta do, and Patrick going, I love you.
Yeah.
You're hot.
Yeah. It's just a weird thing.
It's real weird. It'll be okay.
I actually called it. I said it was going to be a good game. That doesn't mean it's not going to be. It's going to be broken.
It will be broken. It'll likely be a very good game. It may not be.
2 things can be true.
Yeah. Look, Baldur's Gate 3 is broken in many ways, but it is also a very, very good game that many people like. It's okay for both things to be true. It's not okay for them to act like the second thing is not going to happen, though.
Yeah, right.
So Gamescom opening night happened today, and which is counterintuitive to the way time works for us over here. But I promise you, it was at one point night over there.
It was yesterday over there.
That's true. It was yesterday. So yesterday was Gamescom tonight.
Confused?
Yeah. If you're with us still, don't leave. I hope that didn't hurt you. Lots of stuff. A lot less hype built up around this showcase than normal. Normally, Gamescom is where we get a lot of like top secret reveals or it's like unexpected things, and we got a few of those in here. But I mean, we started off pretty sanitary early in the day. We got a new Pokemon trailer, which showed us what if T was a ghost, not the letter T, but the drink. And what if that ghost was the spirit of an angry man that made tea?
Oh my god!
And there's a bunch of them. So That story works for exactly
last
one of those
week, I
Pokemon.
can't do it.
But this one has like a straw, I think, that it's using as a scythe. And also, don't be confused.
What
it's
if
not,
Boba had a 401k?
What?
You're like, what does that mean?
Joke's on you, this isn't the first time they've made this Pokemon, because Sinistea is also a ghost Pokemon that is a teacup, like a British-style teacup. But here's the thing. This isn't that Pokemon's regional version, like you would think. You would think that, oh, it's the same Pokemon, but just a different place, like what they've done with other Pokemon. No, this is a convergent evolution, which is a Pokemon that's evolved in a way that makes it look similar to another Pokemon, but is a different Pokemon. Which is just the most nonsense. Look,
stupid.
that convergent evolution is a real thing. In real life, there are species that develop similar traits on opposite sides of the planet,
Yes.
and develop, end up
Science.
evolving to look like one another, not intentionally, but just through coincidence. But this feels more like Game Freak being like, I don't know, what if we made a ghost teacup? And they're like, oh, we already did that. It's like, no, this one's the tea is green. It's matcha, actually. It's matcha tea, and it's in a clay cup. It's in a clay cup this time, so it's not the same. It's a different Pokemon. It's in fact, it's not. We're not even gonna call it. It's not even regional. It's different Pokemon. So stop asking questions. Stop being mad at me.
Pokemon players, like, I love you, but like, you know how dumb this is, right?
Every Pokemon player knows the game's dumb. Anyone who says that they don't know it's dumb.
I love Pokemon. This is stupid.
It's okay. You can like the stupid things in life.
That's fine. It is dumb. We have to meet in the middle here.
Yeah. Look, from the start, it was dumb. There was a mime. You remember when there was a Pokemon that was just a mime?
Yeah, he was a pedophile, right?
Kind of. He's definitely doing Ash's mom, though.
Oh, yeah. Ew.
Google it.
No, don't.
Disclaimer:
you'll
do not.
flagged.
Can we get the disclaimer up there? Do not. Does not condone Mr. Mime, Ash's mom, anything.
We were gonna go down a path that like we can't go down here at a news station.
Oh right, yeah. I forgot we have a job.
Yeah.
I'm off today.
The Rule 34 that you will find on that, I assume you don't want on your computer,
Look,
work or home.
If you accidentally were to type those letters into your Google, burn your computer after. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Right.
But aside from Pokemon, we got a lot of other,
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's get out of here. Aside from
Call of
Pokemon,
Duty, the thing that everybody's been talking about.
yeah.
The
so
also stupid franchise that we
yeah.
keep playing.
I mean, well, look. What do you want? There's water. There's guns. ACWR is back. That's good. I like that gun.
I'll tell you what, and we
Looks
said
good.
this about the last year at this time when the Call of Duty, or 2 years ago now, I guess, when the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 trailer came out.
Yeah.
We were like, looks great. Wish people gave a damn about it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just was like,
People will care. Don't get us wrong. We know that there are a lot of you out there that play the game, but I think what we mean is that why, right? Like, it's every year we don't need a new one, and I kind of was hoping that maybe we were gonna hop off that train, but we're back on it, and it's even weirder now because some of it's just carryover material.
well, the story hasn't evolved enough to warrant, or the stories haven't been good enough to
Yeah.
warrant
And if
full campaigns, and even the full campaigns, the full campaigns aren't long enough
yeah,
to justify having a full campaign. It is fun. I like the campaign. I like
Yeah.
playing solo.
I had a good
missions.
time with them.
And it looks good. We don't have to do it.
We don't need it.
We don't have to do
I don't need to pay $70 for it either. But also, son of a bitch, they got me. Because I'll tell you this right now. You heard us last week on our last episode on here talking about how we just will not care about this new one because I'm not paying $70 for a campaign.
I'm not.
And then they went, oh yeah? Is that what you think? You think you can just get out of here? What if we put all 16 launch maps from the original Modern Warfare 2 in this game at launch? And I went, that's not okay. And they're like, and what if we included all the best guns from that game too? I'm like, stop it. And they're like, and what if the campaign has more to talk about than we said? What if there's a little bit more? Because if you don't know, and you might not, Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 already happened, right? We already had those. 2007, 2009, and 2012. So 2019 rolls around, we get Call of Duty Modern Warfare, parentheses, 2019.
Right.
That is before the events of Modern Warfare, the Warfare 1. So Modern Warfare 1 is pre-Modern Warfare 1. And Modern Warfare 2 is a combination of 2 and 1's story, but like they took the twist from 2 and put it in the events of 1, which then leads us to Modern Warfare 3, which is of course going to be Modern Warfare 2, which means that Modern Warfare 4 will have to happen so that Modern Warfare 3 can happen.
I'm sorry, I blacked out. What happened?
Yeah, so I will buy this game, and I'm gonna hate myself because they've been holding out some of the best maps. They keep remaking freaking Nuketown every year, and I keep getting Rust back, and I don't want Rust back. I don't want 1v1 you on Rust. I don't care if you have Commando.
1v1 you on Rust. Headshots only.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't want to do Terminal for the 15th time. But they got like Afghan, which they will probably change the name of. They've got a bunch of fantastic maps that have not been seen in a long time, and they're gonna fully remaster them. And god damn it, they got me.
Son of a bitch. I'm in.
I'm mad about it. Yeah. Insert the
Rick
meme.
and Morty meme.
Yeah. So yeah.
Talk about Alan Wake 2. I didn't watch this one. You sprung this on me last second.
Spooky. It's very spooky. I know it looks really good. If you haven't replayed or haven't played for the first time the original Alan Wake, it is currently on PlayStation Plus Extra, and I think also maybe on Xbox Game Pass. Don't quote me on that part. But real early 2000s kind of game vibe with the original because that's when it came out. And there's a Verizon commercial in there originally, and a Duracell commercial, and those aren't in there anymore. But the writing and the dialogue.
Are they selling ads in the middle of this game?
Yeah, man, it was weird. There was a whole ad campaign before Alan Wake came out that was like Duracell, the only thing that could save you from the darkness. And it was like, and then every battery is just a giant like JPEG of a Duracell battery pack. Like, oh, the batteries. Oh man, we've come a long way.
Now God that they don't do that in game. I'm shocked they don't do that more.
I can't believe they don't do that anymore. Remember when Jake from State Farm was in NBA?
Oh yeah.
It's still in there. Hey,
I've become.
We're blind to it. The boys did advertising basically by doing a cross. The new advertising in video games
is integrating the characters,
integrating your IP into the game. So
I totally blanked on that. So you completely.
I can't wait for the Olive Garden crossover with Call of Duty, with the spaghetti and meatballs submachine gun. It's gonna happen. Someday we will get Red Lobster in Fortnite.
I was just about to say that.
What's another dying restaurant franchise?
Come to Outback Steakhouse and The Last of Us.
Throw a shrimp on the Barbie and The Last of Us Part 3. Mm-hmm. Elliot's like, hold on. I need a bloomin' onion. Like, what? And then they just go into it's the only still functioning restaurant in all of the post-apocalypse, and it's just an Outback Steakhouse, and Ellie's like, one bloomin' onion, please.
Exactly.
And you have to sit there and press buttons to eat the whole thing before you get up.
Wings or whatever that is.
Just fake Australian food for days. Not that Australia has like a bunch of... never mind. Anyway, so Alan Wake 2 looks great comparatively to the original. Right. Look, I liked the original, and I'm replaying it still right now with my wife, but man, is it absolutely dated in terms of the way that everything is about it. This looks phenomenal, though. It looks terrifying through and through. I am gonna put a poop in my pants from it for sure. And I honestly, I can't wait because Control was fantastic and Remedy has been doing nothing but hits lately. Speaking of nothing but hits, Mortal Kombat 1.
Hey, what a transition.
I got him for days. We got a look at General Shao, who is Shao Kahn pre-the Khan.
All these references I'm totally going to get.
Yeah. Hey, and Sindel's back. Her hair does a little whoosh. And that's pretty cool.
Goes like through, rips the arms off and goes through the body.
You think you're having a bad hair day.
They showed you all the most tame finishes.
Yeah.
This one, I think. Except for when they ripped Raiden's
legs apart.
Gooching balls apart.
That was pretty painful to watch. Yeah, there's a lot of really bad ones in there, and it's gonna be rough on the body, for sure. But we also got to look at a couple of interesting cameo characters. Look, I played the beta this weekend. You can catch the link in the description down below to our Weekend Warriors from that.
Oh, was that the new one that you sent? That was
yeah,
the new one?
yeah,
Okay.
that was the new one. Yeah, we were playing. They only had 6 characters available. I ended up doing a lot of Katana. Katana was like, that was my jam, and Liu Kang, always fun. Hey, Johnny Cage, if you're watching, I hate you so much. I hate you. Get out of the game.
Is there more? So there's been, correct me if I'm wrong, because the last one I think I played was 10 or 11. I can't remember. There's more story to these now. Like they have actors portraying.
Right. So what we're getting right now is mostly story trailers. And those story trailers are acting as character reveals for people who don't care about the story. But I actually really like the story. Mortal Kombat 10 and 11. So we'll start over with that. So Mortal Kombat 9, which was just called Mortal Kombat at the time, was a reboot of the franchise.
Right.
It started things over on the new gen consoles for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 after the calamity that was Mortal Kombat versus DC, which we don't talk about, and that's okay, because now they have separate games, and sometimes they cross over still, but it's okay. Then Mortal Kombat 10 continued that, introducing new characters, new lore, and Mortal Kombat 11 kind of was the culmination of that timeline, that version of reality where we found out Kronika, who is like the goddess of time or whatever, was manipulating events so that they would stay distracted fighting between themselves and not be able to stop her from establishing control by deleting all the elder gods.
Yeah, as we all knew.
It's in check your pamphlet. You know, it's in there. But so at the end of that game, spoiler alert, in the DLC also, there's a struggle for the crown of Kronika between Liu Kang and Shang Tsung. Not Shang Tsung. Ooh.
We are going long here.
Anyway, so Liu Kang becomes a god at the end of that game, and so now he's the Raiden of this new universe. This Mortal Kombat 1 is the same story continued into a new timeline.
Okay.
So Liu Kang remade time to create peace, and Raiden is now just a person.
Okay.
It looks like Royden is our new champion. He's playing the Liu Kang role that he originally played. So it looks really good. I have some notes on the beta. Fatal blows feel kind of useless now because they used to give you a little bit of protection to mount a comeback, but they don't anymore. But other than that, fun. Good time. Had a good time with it. Speaking of things...
you care, I don't.
I'm good. Ooh. So, okay, I gotta... Look. I have to talk to Tekken producers, okay? Look, it looks so good. Okay, look, just... Where's Eddie? Where's Eddie Gordo? Where's my wheelie-dealy spinning man? How am I supposed to style on my opponents if he's not there? Who's gonna dance with me? Kuma is great. I love to do a big bear that does the whoosh, and he hits things with a fish that turns into a rocket. That's great. Paul Phoenix, fine. Where's Eddie Gordo?
Many people have been asking.
Yeah, it's been all over the headlines. Look, it looks great. We found out it's coming out January 24th of next year.
Of a milk bottle.
Have you seen Eddie Gordo? I would show you what he looks like, but he's always spinning around on a cell.
We get
a still frames of him.
Just legs up in the
air. If you didn't know, Eddie Gordo is my go-to character, and the rivalry that exists between me and Christian has always been Eddie Gordo versus Paul Phoenix. And for there to be a chance that I maybe can't do that again kind of hurts my soul. But probable DLC character, if I had to guess, if he's not in the game flat out. He's also not a character they typically highlight a whole bunch, I feel like. So maybe he's in there, but they just haven't talked about him yet. But yeah, full-on arcade game in there. Like the arcade mode is literally at an arcade. So that's neat.
To access.
You remember when Street Fighter did that earlier this year? They're doing, it's just that. Looks good. Next one.
Assassin's Creed doesn't look finished.
It looks, it looks a little, Ubisoft, what are you doing, right? Like you've made this one smaller and more contained. but it's not more polished.
We don't know that, but just like watching it even in like 1080p or whatever on my computer, it looked like they were skipping.
It kind of looks boring. Also, like the story and stuff. Like I watched the story gameplay a while ago, and I was like, okay, maybe they just chose a boring part. But like the more I see of it, the less interested I'm becoming, and that's not a good thing for someone to be able to say about your game. Like there is interesting stuff about it. But they haven't shown me anything that makes me think it's going to be worth my
Yeah, is it going to like get me back into it after sort of I've had a bad taste in my mouth?
I think it's going to be a weird mix of all the different, like it's going to be a weird mix of the newer stuff and the original. And I think that's going to play bad because I have to agree with the fans on this one. I think the parkour alone kind of says that the game has slowed down too much. It looks chunky in movement, and the combat.
It looked like they were kind of like.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, guys.
We'll see.
Which is interesting because they moved the release date up a week to October 5th. So they're super confident.
Look, if I know one thing about Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed, they have no problem telling you they're about to release a patch.
Overconfident about it.
They have no problem
They'll make a trailer about it and be like highlighting the things. You know that thing that destroyed your game? We did that. But also, now you can have a different tattoo on your back that's covered up by your armor. And
right.
Like, yeah, thanks, Ubisoft. Like, do you remember Ezio? Well, if we gave you his armor, can you love me again? Will you look at me again?
Hug me.
Please hug me. Little Nightmares 3. Have you played any of those games?
No, but this is what I do for so many games. I've watched so much gameplay of Little Nightmares.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good, solid indie horror game that's published by a very large publishing company, but it is an indie game technically. I'm actually super excited about this. I really enjoyed Little Nightmares 2. Sierra and I played through that together, and there's just not enough smaller horror games out there, and there's really no other horror platformer.
It's a horror not based in space.
Yeah. Thank God we got out of that trend like immediately.
Oh, except for maybe like the Killing Floor that's coming.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. We'll get to that.
Little Nightmares. I tell you what, nothing scares me more than a baby doll.
Yeah. True.
Giant baby thing.
Any giant baby.
Anthropomorphic baby that was gonna attack. Ew.
No. I don't like that. Black Myth Wukong.
What is happening? What is this?
So good. It looks so cool, though. Have you seen any of the other gameplay?
I watched the whole trailer today.
Yeah. But
what is this?
It's
Are you a monkey? What is this?
It's Journey to the West as a game.
Okay.
That's it. That's what it is. It's a Souls-like game. It's from Chinese developers. And it looks so good. I love
wild.
It looks insane. I mean, I love everything about it so far. I think, and I've heard some. Look, Souls players, I don't care. I don't want your input. I don't know. Some of the frames look kind of chunky. Shut up. Get out of here. Like, well, you could tell by the roll that he's gonna have iframes here and here, so that's not gonna. I don't care. It looks cool. It looks like it's gonna play cool. It looks like the story's gonna be fun.
You're fighting other anthropomorphic animals, like a big tiger.
Big with the furries this game is going to be.
Ooh.
It's not, but it looks really, really, really good. And I think the combat in particular looks very polished. So I'll be really interested to see how it turns out in the final. Like, we've been hearing about this game for 2-3 years now, and the more I see of it, the more like all in I am. Kind of like how you were feeling about Nightingale.
I don't know where to start with this because it's like, is it The Forest but with magic?
Kind of.
And more guns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have delayed the early access to the game to 2024, though, which is interesting because I am very optimistic that it's going to be a unique kind of game. but I'm not sure about the level of polish that has been applied to it so far. It looks good. The trailers have always looked good and have interested me.
This is the first time I've seen of it. I'm interested in sort of the survival aspect of all of it. Haven't played a great survival game in a long time, mostly because I don't have that much time to like dig into how long people commit to those. Like Rust, like people are still playing right now. Yeah. But look, like it does look chunky or whatever you were calling, just the movement of it all and stuff. But it just, I don't know, looks cool. I don't know how to describe it other than it's like a cool concept. People were kind of complaining about maybe there's going to be like loot boxes and things like that.
I believe the plan is for the game to be somewhat microtransaction driven. So we'll see. But it is, I mean, that's where the early access stuff kind of comes into play. Killing Floor 3 is, a little spacey.
Gross.
A little spacey, a little gross. You guys still like zombies? We still doing zombies?
Are they zombies? Are they aliens?
They were zombies.
Zombie aliens with now mech suits?
It's kind of just now horror as a metaphorical concept. Like it's the entire genre is the enemy. I feel like at this point. They're like, I don't know, we were doing zombies, but then the last game we had like slashers in there. Xenomorphs this time? I don't know. We'll get them.
A lot of people are excited about this because like the first one of these games came out in 2009, I think.
Yeah. Killing Floor 2 lasted forever, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people loved it. I played a little bit of it here and there. I'll be honest with you, horde shooters are not my thing most of the time. They get real stale real fast, but there's some people who are real big into objective-based horde shooters, and this will be right up your alley. It's for you. They made it for you, just for you, Ken.
I'm good. It looked. The cinematics of it looked disgusting. I was trying to watch that at my desk, and I was like, I don't think I can watch this right now.
I think I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. Anyway.
Payday 3 is gonna have Ice-T.
Hell yeah.
I don't have anything else to say about that. I hope he's playing his detective character though.
Yeah,
he's not
look
playing
up John Mulaney's bit about Ice-T on
You mean
SVU.
like when you eat too much chocolate cake, or like when somebody does too many scratch off lottery tickets?
Yeah.
Like, I hope that's just the whole thing.
Ponies.
And he's like, oh, I get it. Yeah. Like he's like trying to like understand. They're like trying to explain the plan to break into the bank. He's like, oh, I get it. Yeah. It's like whenever someone's got something you want and you go and take it, or like when someone's got an old piece of furniture, but they put it on the side of the road, so you pick that up, or it's like, thanks, guys, you got it.
Good job.
Oh man, that's not what it's gonna be, but hey, Payday 3, guys, please make that a DLC. Just the John Mulaney bit of Ice-T.
Payday 3 SVU.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't watch this trailer.
There's an SVU game from like the early 2000s.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Oh, ew.
Dude. One of the worst things ever, first off. Same thing goes for the NCIS games and the CSI Miami game. Weird, strange games. But like today, if they did LA Noire style SVU and they put Ice-T in there, I would only, if he was like a playable, he'd be my go-to
character.
I would just be like, nah.
He'd be your Eddie Gordo?
Yeah, he would be my Eddie Gordo. I would love that, man. Just completely unrelated. This is a weird one for the last one. Delta Force is a game. It's a name I've not heard in many years.
Wait, was this a previous game?
Yeah.
I guess I've missed this.
Like real like PS2, PS3 era game. Like
I was like, they're coming out. They're trying to come out with a competitor for Modern Warfare or for Call of Duty.
It's like a milsim style game. This one looks a little more, like blockbuster style, but not the video rental place, but like explosive. Though it would be funny if there was just a blockbuster in the middle of this game. They're like, it
starts in 1993. But
hey, there we go. It looks really good actually, and I'm very interested to see what
ended up looking really good.
Yeah.
The first when the 1993 shooter aspect of it, where they were like, that looked like something from an Xbox 360 cut out of Call of Duty.
Yeah. It
ended up looking fine.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be good. I'm always in for more Battlefield, Call of Duty-esque games. I do feel like we reached an oversaturation point at one point, but we're kind of in need of some new competitors that can actually. Like, I need something fresh that isn't coming from one of the two biggest publishers in the world, soon to be owned by Microsoft.
It looks like this. I mean, obviously, I think it wants you to work with a team. I'm not a huge like co-op mission thing for people, but like, there's also like upgrades and things of that sort. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Power upgrades.
Very interested. Look, like I said, this Gamescom showcase kind of had to deal with a bigger problem that's happening across the industry, and it's what I call stop. Please, God, stop. Too many games. That's the problem that everyone's dealing with. And I'm dealing with that right now. I tell you this. I am currently in the middle of doing a playthrough for a review on Immortals of Avium, Orbium, Orbits, who knows? And also, I'll start a review playthrough of Armored Core 6 this week. That's too many things at once already. But on top of that, I'd like to be able to play games that I was wanting to play to start with, like Battlefield and stuff with my friends.
The games that let me play what I like.
Yeah, look, and I hear you. I hear you shouting at your screen and typing in the comment section. Didn't you choose to do this? Yes. Doesn't make me any less sad. I could depress myself, thank you. What would you give this showcase?
Oh, I didn't watch the whole thing. But the stuff that you said.
General vibes.
General vibe, 8.5, because there weren't like huge reveals, but it was interesting to me, especially I was going to say, it was like Hyper Light Breaker or whatever, a game that people are really excited about. They were like genuinely honest, and they came out and were like, we just need more time to like do this game.
And look, I love that. If there's one thing I will never fault a developer for, is coming out and being like, it's not ready. We will not put this out yet.
Well, now the big publishers didn't do that because we just like harped on.
Yeah, well, and look, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom did that. They did do that. They came out and they said it needs another year. And then they delayed it by a year. And so I appreciate whenever I see a developer doing that.
Also, Dragonhold looks crazy awesome.
I don't know what's going on with that game, but I'm in.
I'm in, yeah. I'm
dragons?
Like,
have we not had more dragons?
Or dragon combat? Like I can fly around on a dragon?
I think when Microsoft killed Scalebound in 2015, that kind of like soured the waters on dragon-based games. But dude, first off, Immortals of Avium better have a section where I get to ride a dragon and fire magic bullets from my magic gun on my magic hand. Because otherwise, what are we doing? Why is there not more dragons?
I mean, many people have asked that.
Everyone's asking that. It's all any of us are asking, really.
Oh, and then I just wanted to make this joke. The First Descendant or Horny Halo.
Weird Horny Halo / Destiny.
Yeah.
It's the first look, I still don't know what's happening in that game, because the other trailers they put out were just like, I don't know, a character trailer and the character's name is Bunny, because
this game's mad horny.
You'll never guess, but she is dressed as a bunny.
Mm-hmm.
So that should tell you enough to know that.
I was like, what is this game? And then there's a frame at 30 seconds where I was like, oh.
Oh.
Got it.
Okay. Look, I'm going to create a new genre category for us to put some games in, and it's just going to be called No Horny.
Mm-mm.
And we're going to put that off to the side. So maybe it's a good game. I don't know. It's not really piqued my interest, though. I would say, like a 7, neat out of 10, because they announced before the showcase that it was going to be more focused heavily on games that are actively happening already. So I think that they nailed that. There's a lot of stuff in here that I knew about already, and that we just got updates about. I like that we got a few solid reveals in here, but for the most part, it was just, hey, the thing you're excited about, here's a reason to be a little more excited. Here's the release date. Here's a new character. I mean, look, I already pre-ordered Mortal Kombat 1. They didn't need to show me anything else. They could just go complete radio silence until September 19th, and I'm still going to be playing it the first day. Like, I'm tempted to ask off of work to go home and play Mortal Kombat the whole day. I'm not going to because I'm going to do that for Spider-Man. But
yeah, another thing. We didn't get any Spider-Man here.
It's October.
I need a little more, just a little more taste of Spider-Man.
I could use the games that I could never get enough of. I need
that hit.
Hit me with some more Sony stuff, dude. And Xbox, if you got something cooking.
Give me a still frame of Wolverine.
Guy. Yeah, dude, give me a loose concept art of Wolverine, please.
Yeah.
Like it's not. We haven't even started coding anything. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I heard that it's gonna be like just make stuff up.
Right.
Yeah, and I already kind of did my takeaways about Mortal Kombat, but I think that this showcase was pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it an 8.5. I'm gonna move that down to an 8. I needed more Starfield.
I think we just need more.
I need some assurances. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna need a preview copy of Starfield.
If I'm going to buy an Xbox to play this game,
and I'm going to, I'm mad about it. So you could make me a little less mad by releasing a demo or sending me a copy. Bethesda, respond to my emails, perhaps. And my loud screams and boombox holding outside your window. Now onto a new segment that I like to call "What Did Royden Watch?"
Oh,
which I didn't really warn him about. So what's a movie this week?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was one that I watched actually last week. I'm supposed to see Blue Beetle, which got like really decent reviews.
Yeah, I heard it's the Iron Man to the DC Universe reboot.
Which is sad because nobody's seen it, unlike Iron Man. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a movie that like not a lot of people also saw. I mean, it made $100 million, but like
for an animated movie, it did pretty well.
Yeah, you would expect like more people to go see it. Like you would think more people a little bit older than us that have kids would have taken their kids to go see it.
Yeah.
But school starting up and everything, it's like
it was a weird
time for movies right now. I'm gonna see that. What has Royden been watching? A lot of like Parts Unknown with Anthony Bourdain because all of that's on Max.
There you go.
So
that's the movie recommendation this week is a series.
There's that. My wife and I are watching The Summer I Turned Pretty on Amazon.
I heard
it is exactly what you think it is.
Real weird.
Exactly what you think it is.
There's a whole slew of strange coming of age / romantic comedies / teen comedies out there that are just the weirdest movies you can watch. And if you want to just have a good time with your significant other, sit down and watch any of those movies. And be prepared to laugh a lot and cringe a lot, and then decide in a blood pact afterwards to never talk about or watch that movie ever again.
Right. So that's what this is. And Only Murders in the Building came back for season 3, which has just been a delightful show.
It's a great show.
So that's what I've been watching. Movies, not so much. I did watch recently Sisu and Joyride, which both rule, and they didn't do well in theaters. They immediately came to VOD and everything. So Sisu just killing Nazis, which we all love.
Yeah,
and
I heard it was the John Wick of Nazis. You notice that we're back to that again, where everyone just
is the John Wick of things.
Well, it's like the Dark Souls of things, but now we're just getting insert popular movie of a different movie.
It came from like the producers of John Wick or something like that.
That's so
they got to tag that on there. It's nothing like that. It's really like pretty brutal. Like I know John Wick is, but like John Wick is more like fluid. This is like we're blowing people up with mines, proximity mines and stuff. So
it's chunky, visceral.
Yeah, exactly. Sisu, that ruled. Joyride, really, really funny. Do not watch that anywhere near your kids. Sisu, you can watch near your kids. You're good. But no.
Chunky explosives, fine, but raunchy comedy.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you have kids, you're watching this, or if you don't, it's actually really funny.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good stuff.
And Blue Beetle got good reviews. I'm going to see that. Also, Gran Turismo, shockingly not panned. Like it didn't.
It was mid.
Yeah, it didn't.
Very
it made
middle.
I think it's at 59 or 60 on Rotten Tomatoes.
And then the user score was like 80 something.
It was like 98%.
Oh, did it go higher?
Yeah, I think they're juicing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it has like good approval ratings from fans.
I both love and hate that because I do agree with fans on the fact that I think a lot of critics who don't play the games.
Yeah.
And look, just like you shouldn't have to read a book about a movie to go see that movie, you shouldn't have to play a game for the story of that game to translate. But they weren't translating the story of Gran Turismo. They were translating the story of this highly specific thing that happened.
Playing Gran Turismo
and then becoming
an actual
like, it was more
race car driver.
And Gran Turismo, like as a sport, was already a thing. Like so I think that there's a little bit more people like I'm sure a lot of the critical consensus that I've seen has been kind of more like I don't understand where this was about a video game.
Why we sought the video game name on this, which
is funny because this is like the one case where it wasn't like a cash grab, slap the name on the thing. It's just something that happened to line up with the property that they wanted to talk about.
I actually kind of like better. Like we're taking a chance on an actual real, on telling an interesting story instead of this is the race car movie named Gran Turismo.
Dude, yeah. Do you remember the Need for Speed movie?
I wish I didn't.
Yeah, it could have been that.
Yeah.
And so.
Good. What honestly, you could have done anything, man.
You could have been anywhere.
You could have done anything.
You did Need for Speed after, well, I guess, drug related. It kind of makes sense, but I mean, it's like every time there's a bad video game movie and we get like a mediocre one, I'm tempted to just go, yeah, but you remember?
Yeah, remember what we did have?
Like Uncharted was fine. It was a movie that happened.
I'm just saying we're getting better at doing this.
Dude, rumors have it that Tom Holland's been cast in another PlayStation movie, though, as Jack from Jack and Daxter, and Chris Pratt is going to be playing Daxter.
Oh, no.
Dude.
No.
I don't want that.
No.
First of all,
Tom Holland, little man.
I mean, Jack, he's an elf.
Is he?
And he's a child, so it kind of works. This will be the second time they've played an elf together. It's like an elf looking. They have pointy ears.
I thought for sure that Jack was like 7 foot tall.
No, he's like, I don't know, 4'5" until he grows up.
Ignore
but real weird thing for them to do. But also the Daxter's animated. Just get the guy that voiced him. Why are you bothering casting Chris Pratt in it? We could have at least had because. And also, Jack does not speak the entire first and second game.
Chris Pratt cashing those checks, Bubba.
Dude, if Tom Holland is
they have seen him made $2 billion animated movies, and they're just like, it's him, not the property, not Lego or
Chris
Mario.
Pratt says Garfield. He's Mario. He's Daxter. He's gonna be the new Siri voice. He's Alexa.
Remember they made a Ratchet and Clank animated movie.
Yeah, it was actually, and then they made a game.
Did well, but like, I don't know how many people saw it, but it got good reviews. But then they made it into the game.
Yeah, so the game was based on the movie that was based on the game.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going long. I've been watching a lot of TV. I will get back into the movies, and I'm gonna have just a spoiler alert for later on down the line. You'll see my movie reviews. You can already see them, but like you'll see them in shorter form. On the 4 where you see some of this stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Hey, we'll be sharing the limelight somewhere else too. That's awesome. So, hey, look forward to that. And should look forward to everything else we're doing. We've got an Atlas Fallen review that just came out this week. Go check that out. Alex did a great job there. James did an excellent job with his edit. I'll have a review coming up, as I said, for Immortals of Avium soon. Armored Core shortly after. Levi is currently working on his Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Chainsaw, 2 words or 1 word?
1, I think.
Not in this game. It's 2. Why? I don't know. Chainsaw. The chainsaw what?
Massacre.
Oh, okay. It's a little English lesson. You teach the kids. What did the chainsaw? A massacre. That's right, kids. Yay!
Punctuation is key.
You can look out for that. We'll have another episode of the download next week. And in the meantime, subscribe to Hardwired so you don't miss on the uplink. And if you want to tell us a thing that we maybe should do, leave a comment in the comment section where you can comment a comment.
I had a dream that this got like 50,000 views the other day. Don't make me a liar.
Don't make his dreams a lie.
That would be a lot for a sit-down talk show, but like whatever.
We'll make it happen. None of our other videos have ever gotten 50,000 views, but this is the one. 50K, let's go. I'm Andrew, that's Royden. Next time, right?